I never thought I'd actually hear the words, "Ma'am, this is a McDonald's," uttered by an employee unironically to a Karen before I die, but rest assured, I can officially scratch that one off my bucket list. But first off, can I just say that the fast food atmosphere in general is so funny to me? Like, I am so sorry. Shout out to all the fast food workers out there because you guys have to deal with so much crap throughout the day, y'all deserve an award. Like the fact that anyone can just walk into any given fast food place, order food, say their name is Plankton, and a few minutes later, hear that name yelled out in a crowded restaurant. Order for Plankton? Is phenomenal. Yep, that's me. So this one, whoa. So this one time, a few friends and I went to a Schmlendy's. You know what I'm talking about. I can't say it for legal reasons, but you know what I'm talking about. And right before we went in, we all agreed to say the weirdest names we could think of to see if they'd yell it out, no matter what it was. And I apologize to anyone who was working there that day. I have evolved, and I now have much more respect for anyone working in retail or fast food or anything. But anyway, so we walk in, and this poor woman takes our order. Really? That's your names? Alright, I got 2 heartburns and a deep fried doorstop. We sat down and just waited in full anticipation, hoping that they would yell out some of the names we gave them. I got an order for Finrod. Dude, was that you? No, was it you? No. Yes, Finrod, that's me. So we were shooting the breeze, waiting for our food, and it took so long that I legitimately forgot that we said weird names until they called them. I got an order for... what? Darth Sandwich? I got another one for shoelace? And bro, what the heck is this? Lozenge? Sorry. If I end up walking behind that air fryer, gathering my thoughts, writing a resignation letter, and quitting on the spot, you guys are the reason. Again, I've evolved. Don't ever do something like this because it's not funny. Well, it's kind of funny. Anyway, I know that you guys are not here for the Schmlendy's story. You want to hear about the time that I saw a real-life Karen in the wild get absolutely flamed at a McDonald's. And not just any McDonald's, an airport McDonald's.
Yeah, but those are the best kind.
They're probably wondering, why can I say McDonald's and not Schmlendy's? I have no idea. I probably should have censored them both. But hey, guess what? So I was at the airport one day, waiting for a flight. It got delayed because, of course it did. Thank you, United. So I went to the little map thing to find out what kind of food places there were there. And I'm not kidding you, there was basically only a McDonald's. The rest of the places were either closed or like a coffee stand or something. It had been months since I'd been to a McDonald's. So I was like, hey, what the heck? Once isn't gonna kill me. And later I paid the price on the plane, but that's not what this is about. So I find the McDonald's, and there is just one of the longest lines I have ever seen at a McDonald's. At an airport. But hey, I've got time. So I get in line, and right away I notice a lot of these people in line don't look like they're regulars at McDonald's. That's up to your imagination to decide what you think I mean by that. But I think almost everyone's flight got delayed or something, so they all had the same idea as me. And this was basically the only place in the entire airport that served real food. Well, that's up to your imagination to decide what you think I mean by real. But this airport McDonald's,
The best kind.
seemed like a last resort for almost all of these people, especially for the 2 in line that were right in front of me. It was a mom and a daughter, and they seemed very sporty. Like, the daughter plays soccer and the mom lives vicariously through her or something, resulting in a High School Musical situation where the big soccer tournament is the most important thing for the mom, but the daughter just wants to sing and be a normal girl with a normal life. And basically, I had a lot of time to think about this while we were in line because it was so long. But as we were getting closer to the front, the daughter seemed very chill. Honestly, like a little excited to eat some junk food, like it had been a while. But the mom was all over the place. She could not stop moving. She kept checking the menu, looking at her phone, checking the time, looking around, like she could not sit still. You could tell a little bit that she thought she was the main character. And McDonald's was probably the last place she wanted to be with, the middle class. But again, this was really the only place that served food and not coffee or despair, so everyone was there. After a while of waiting, we were about 2 people away from the front of the line, and the mom turns to the daughter and is like, do they have anything organic? I don't know if they have anything really healthy for you. Mom, it's fine. It's just for one time, and I'm really hungry. I just don't know. Finally, they reach the front of the line, and the employee at the counter is like, hi, what can I get you? But Karen's over there freaking out. And she's like, yeah, hi, what's the healthiest thing you have on the menu? Mom! Let me rephrase that. Do you have a salad? Ma'am? This is a McDonald's. But Karen got so offended. So she doubled down and was like, can you make a salad? And the employee was just like, no, but you're welcome to choose anything we have on the menu. And this woman took that personally. She grabbed her 20-year-old daughter by the wrist and was like, come on, we're leaving. And that poor girl was like, wait, Mom, come on. We waited in that huge line, please. No, are you serious? Everyone just watched them storm out. If there was a dude on the piano in the corner, he would have stopped playing. So I get to the front of the line, and in hopes to brighten up this employee's day, I'm like, I'll have the salad, please. I'll just have the the number 7, thank you. That'll be $57. Jeez, airport food is expensive. But as I went over to sit down at my gate, I looked over and nice, good for her. The girl that got dragged off by her mom was back in line to get some food. And that makes me so glad. Like, just because your mom's a Karen doesn't mean you need to be one too. Because I already had a ton of respect for employees who work in jobs where they have to deal with other people's stupidity all day. And this story I'm gonna tell you is no exception. I swear, common sense ain't looking so common these days. So a while back, believe it or not, I used to have an iPhone with a home button. And this home button would break sometimes. When this happened, it's like your whole phone is useless now. So the only thing you could do is go into your settings and turn on a digital home button. So you could still, use your phone. So one day my phone's home button broke because I may or may not have, had my phone in my pocket whilst making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the passenger seat of a moving go-kart on a really intense go-kart track. It's not really that important. Although that is a true story for another time, but we won't talk about that. Anyway, so obviously this wasn't ideal, but one day I finally got so fed up with it that I decided to go to a magical place called You Break, I Fix. Which quite literally is a place where if you break, they fix. Because guaranteed if I went to the Apple store, they'd upcharge me like crazy and then just encourage me to get a new phone. But I didn't want to do that. So I was like, fantastic. I'll just go in there, get them to fix my home button, and we'll all be fine and dandy. But if I had just gone to the Apple store, you wouldn't be watching this story right now. Dude, I don't know what it is, but it's like I try extra hard to make employees laugh, or at least chuckle when I talk to them, because they have to deal with such waz bags all the time. I try to brighten up their day a little bit. But I guess I suck at it because somehow every time I try, it feels like I just made their day worse. Every time. And Carl here is no exception. Yeah, I can take a look at that for you. How'd you break it exactly? Oh, just some heavy bodily impact. What, were you like playing football or something? Look, the more specific you are on this, the easier the fixing process will be. I mean, it's not like you were doing anything dumb with it, right? What? Yeah, like something stupid. I mean, you better have a completely valid and believable story on how you accidentally broke this thing. Because there is no way an upstanding, functioning member of society like yourself would be dumb enough to take this nice phone somewhere so chaotic it could easily be broken. Yeah, no, about that, What is it, buddy? Where did you go? What'd you do to it? Oh, well, you see, I was, You were what? Come on, spit it out, man. I was, on the, go-karts, and The go-karts? With your phone in your pocket? Yeah, and And? What do you mean, and? Having it in your pocket wasn't enough? What, were you blindfolded? Well, no, not quite. I was actually making a, Making something? Well, what were you making, buddy? I bet it was something really important if you had to do it while in a go-kart. It was a sandwich! I'm sorry! A PB&J! I should have been more responsible. Dude, I'm so sorry. I totally did not need to know all that. I was just messing with you. Did you really break it while making a sandwich on a moving go-kart? You know what? It's not important. Okay, I'll just check with our main tech guy and see what we can do, okay, man? All right, I'll be just 1 second. My man Carl did not hold any punches. And maybe it's just the fact that my joke flopped at the beginning of our conversation, but I genuinely felt like he was judging me so hard. And he was just like, nah, just kidding. But, you know, I get it. He's probably just bored of dealing with people all day and wanted to have some fun. Man, of course my phone broke in the weirdest, most unbelievable way possible. So Carl comes back and he's like, yeah, so it looks like at the moment we don't have the correct parts to fix this, but we're actually getting a new shipment of parts tomorrow. So if you want to come back in the next couple of days, I can probably fix it for you. And I'm like, sure. So I go back to my normal life with my digital home button, and I'm staying away from go-kart tracks. People with the newer iPhones are making fun of me for having an inferior product, but hey, I mean, it could be worse. So a couple of days pass, and I finally make it back to the U-brake I fix. And let me just say, I'm glad I went here instead of the Apple store, because I would not have been able to witness this incredible moment. So I walk in, and the same guy Carl was working at the counter. But this time, he seemed like he was in a good mood. He and the person he was helping were smiling and laughing, and he was helping him out. And I was like, whew, thank goodness. Because I didn't think my fragile emotions could take any more sarcastic judgment. So I walk over to these chairs because my out-of-shape rear end doesn't want to stand in line. Carl finishes helping out that person, and he starts waving me to come over because it's my turn. When the doors swing open. And this vertically challenged and hefty, not unlike a circle-shaped woman who is wearing a cloak, and I'm not kidding you, carrying an 1800s lantern, just brushes past me and walks right up to the counter to cut me in line. So I'm like, excuse me, I need this fixed. Uh-huh. Well, my name's Carl, and I'll be happy to help you. Let's see what we got here. Sorry, 1 sec. No worries, it's okay. Carl inspects what this woman slammed down on the counter, and it's something that I can only describe as a original German World War II 1944 dated Feldfernsprecher 33 field telephone by Kilowatt. But it also looked like someone must have mistaken it for a Spud Melvin's limited edition Chicago-style Dachshund Frankfurter hot dog because there was what looked like a bite taken out of the middle. And my first thought was like, oh, maybe it's from like an actual war, and that's like a bullet or a mortar hole or something. But my second thought was, well, it couldn't be, because neither mortars nor any type of bullet I am aware of leaves comically large cartoon teeth marks in something it pierces. Because I am not kidding you, and I'm trying to describe this thing as best as I possibly can without photo evidence. This thing looked like Shaggy unhinged his jaw like a Burmese python and took the largest bite out of the middle of this thing. And Carl looks like he does not know what to do with himself. So the medieval lady is like, so can you fix it? And Carl's like, you know, I've never seen anything like this before, but I can tell you right now, this hole practically goes through every major component I can see in this thing, so I don't think so. But can you fix it? Ma'am, whatever this thing is, practically every single piece inside of it would need to be replaced. So I'm sorry, but no. You'd be better off buying a new one. Somewhere. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know where. But thank you for coming in. I'm sorry we couldn't help you. Best of luck to you on that. All right, next. Okay, well that's fine. In that case, could you at least recover the data from it? Ma'am, I just told you practically every single component of this thing is either missing or damaged beyond repair and needs to be replaced. So no, unfortunately, there's nothing that I can pull from this device that I can recover for you. Okay, well, can you at least pull the data from like previous calls and stuff from it? You can tell Carl is getting a little heated now. Ma'am, no. I just told you it is all destroyed, and I certainly can't recover previous phone calls off of this thing, even if it was in perfect working order. All right, I get it, I understand. So what data can you recover? I literally just explained why I can neither fix it nor pull any bit of data off of this thing. So again, I'm sorry, we cannot help you. Okay, but can you at least like pull the call history from it? And Carl just looks at this lady. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't know how he kept this cool this long, but he looks at this woman, does this hand motion, and goes, "Ma'am, I cannot." So I finally get up to the counter, and Carl is like, I am so sorry about that. Dude, no worries at all. That was, entertaining. I'm sorry you had to deal with that. Yeah, that was definitely a first for me, but anyway, we have the part needed to fix your phone. Let me do that for you real quick. And Carl, the absolute GOAT, fixes my phone in like 30 seconds. It cost me like $10, and I went on my merry way. Don't worry, obviously staying away from go-kart tracks, but I am truly baffled. I just like, how can you not have respect for people who work in jobs like these, where they need to be patient and polite to people like this every single day? And it's not just your typical Karens, because I've actually seen a few rare male Karens in the wild with my own eyes, making minimum wage employees' lives absolutely miserable. A few years back in Colorado, I went to a Dutch Bros for the very first time. Why is this such a big deal, you might ask? Well, if you've ever tried anything from Dutch Bros before, you know. Sweet. they put a lot of sugar into their drinks, making them borderline unbearable. I'm pretty sure it's actually far too much sugar for human consumption, but we'll get into that in a second. So from then on, every so often, I went to get Dutch Bros with my friends, and every time I would get some kind of fun lemonade from there because I don't drink coffee. And I get something different every time because their lemonade menu is practically endless with some of the craziest names for drinks you've ever heard in your life. Hi, can I get a kick in the face? Blended peach pomegranate cherry passion fruit lemonade? Yes, this is an actual item on the menu, by the way. Please? Will that be cash or card, sir? How about I just give you my liver? Oh, excellent choice, sir. Here, please enjoy contracting type 2. Oh, I will. Thank you. Have a nice day. You too. And every time I got a drink from Dutch Bros, I would think to myself, it's not that bad. I was just overreacting last time. There's no possible way it could be that sweet. Oh, great heavens! I'd end up having just a few sips, then taking whatever drink I got home, and it would sit in the fridge until I was brave enough to sip it again. Which I never ended up being. Because every single one of their drinks are way too sugary. Which makes this story involving an adult male Karen that much more unbelievable. So this one time, me and my friend Ronald, y'all remember Ronald, we're hanging out one time, shooting the breeze, and we decided to go to a Dutch Bros down the street. But this Dutch Bros was special, because instead of it being drive-through only, which is what they're normally like, this one had a place where you could order and hang out inside. So Ronald and I walked in. Oh wow, this is nice. Ooh, this is great. And at the counter, there was a young girl who seemed a little frazzled, but ready to take our order. Hi, what can I get you guys? Oh, sorry, 1 second, we're still deciding what we want. Oh, no worries, take your time. And she immediately ran to do something else, because it seemed like they were really busy with the drive-through line. We finally decide what we want, but just as we're about to go up and order, the door bursts open. And this, 45-year-old dude walks in like he owns the place. He doesn't even bother checking if we're in line, and he cuts us to go right up to the counter. Which, to be fair, we weren't exactly right up at the window or anything, but we were walking up to it, and he absolutely cut us off. So he's waiting at the window, but the girl working there is somewhere else, probably doing something important. But this guy is tweaking out. He keeps looking around, he's looking at his phone, he looks so unbelievably impatient. The girl finally comes back and she's like, hi, sorry about that. What can I get you guys? Hi, yeah, I'll have a large blended Emerald Rebel. Oh, hello, sir. Would you like all the stuff on it like last time? Yes. And make it quick, please. I'm on a time crunch. Of course, sir. I'll get started on that right away. I do have to say, it's a pretty difficult drink to make and we're a little busy at the moment, but we'll do our best. Fine. Just do what you can. And this guy, after being kind of really rude to the nice girl working there, just walks about 3 feet to the left and awkwardly stands there, right next to the window with his arms crossed. Like how boomers do when they're waiting on someone who's getting paid minimum wage to do something for them. But we still haven't ordered, so we're like, hi, sorry, we're just gonna squeeze past you here. We ordered our drinks, and I told the girl, hey, by the way, take all the time you need with our stuff. We're literally in no rush. Oh my gosh, thank you. Of course, no worries. So Ronald and I go over and hang out at these little standing tables that they have. Meanwhile, this guy is just standing eagerly by the window, looking around, checking his phone, just waiting, making it, I'm sure, extremely difficult for the poor girl working there to focus. Several minutes go by, and Ronald and I are talking about this little garage wall that Dutch Bros has that they open up during the summertime, and he used to work on garages, so he's critiquing the craftsmanship. When the guy gets so impatient, he goes back up to the window like, hi, excuse me, how much longer will it take to make my drink? And the girl comes back like, I am so sorry, sir, we're doing our best. It should be ready soon. Okay, if you could just speed it up for me though, I'd really appreciate it. Yes, sir, we're doing everything we can. It's a really complicated drink and we're very backed up on drive-through orders. Fine, I'll be here. People are so entitled. Anyway, so you gotta know the difference between a torsion spring and an extension. If you try to unhook a torsion without a winding bar, you'll probably end up losing some teeth. 10 minutes pass, and this dude is getting unbelievably impatient. He's tapping his foot, checking his phone, looking around. I mean, he cannot stand still. I didn't know garage doors were such death traps. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, come on. How long does it take to make one stupid drink? This guy's getting so annoyed. He finally storms back up to the counter and he's like, hello? Yes, sir. Yeah, how long do you think it's gonna be? I'm so sorry, sir. We're very busy. I don't exactly know, but we're about to put the toppings on. You know what? Forget it. Okay, just forget it. I'm late for work. Can I just get a refund? Well, since we've already almost finished making the drink, I can't give you a refund, but I can give you store credit. I'm sorry. I can't get a refund even though I didn't get the drink I paid for. Well, if you're able to wait a little bit longer, you can, but I'm sorry, sir. It's not our policy. Okay, fine. Whatever. Just give me the store credit. I'll get it next time. So sorry again for the inconvenience. Here's a voucher for 1 free drink. Thanks. And he stormed out of the building. Oh my gosh, thank you guys so much for waiting. Your drinks will be out in 2 seconds, I promise. No worries, seriously, take your time. Thank you. That's why you always gotta check the cable drum. Right, because if it's tighter on one side, you'll throw the whole torsion tube out of whack. Now you're getting it. Here you guys are. Thank you so much for your patience. And I actually just finished making that other guy's drink, and you guys are so nice, so honestly, you can have that one on the house. Oh my gosh, are you serious? Absolutely. But good luck. I barely even want to look at this thing. She puts down this guy's drink, and holy crap! It is one of the craziest drinks I've ever seen in my life. I say one of because I've seen a few, but it's huge, mostly red, layered with colors from top to bottom. And at the top is a giant pile of whipped cream, absolutely filled to the brim with sprinkles, marshmallows, and nerds candy. This thing looks insane. Like I said before, Dutch Bros drinks are already insanely full of sugar. For reference, this is how much recommended sugar on average an adult should consume per day. This is how much sugar is in your average soda, and this, more than 5 days worth, is how much sugar is in one average Dutch Bros lemonade. And those are just the regular ones, not this concoction. Diabetes trembles at the thought of this thing. And as if it wasn't sweet enough, at the very top of the whipped cream is a Storyboards OG hoodie. What the heck? All my limited edition OG Storyboards merch is usually in the description, which, by the way, I'd seriously consider getting something if you haven't already, because these OG designs will be gone forever in about 50,000 subs from now. So if I were you, I would get yours before they're all gone. But anyway, we're looking at this absolute monstrosity. And I'm like, is this thing even on the menu? Oh no. This is a custom thing that guy comes in and orders all the time. Great heavens. This is none of my business, but how often does he come in and order this, thing? It's like every other day. Yeah, most of us working here have told him he probably shouldn't be doing this to his body. I wouldn't be surprised if each sip from this thing takes about a week off your life. So, enjoy, guys. It's on the house. Thanks again for being so nice. Yeah, of course, anytime. So, okay, come on. I can't not try it. I mean, look at this thing. I can barely get through a few sips of a regular lemonade. So I gotta know what this thing tastes like. How is it? Boards? All right, you're just being dramatic. It can't be that bad. Not only was that one sip sweeter and full of more sugar than I've had in my entire life combined, but it also tasted awful. Like, I don't know how so much sweetness could have the worst combination of flavors you could ever imagine. But then to think this guy drinks one of these once about every other day makes me think the dude was genuinely tweaking out. Like, not just an impatient male Karen, but an actual addict going through a withdrawal. So even though it was free, we threw that behemoth in the trash because nobody should drink that thing. We then sipped on the drinks that we got, and mine ended up in the fridge for the next 3 days until I eventually threw that out as well, effectively wasting about $7.50. And I am positive that Karen guy went back to that Dutch Bros, maybe even later the same day, to redeem his voucher and get that drink, because it didn't look like a want anymore. It looked like he needed that thing. And to be honest, I can't believe how common it is to just treat employees like their sole purpose in life is to serve you. And if they mess up even slightly, you're allowed to make them miserable. I can't stop thinking about this one time in particular, where I saw another appearance of the rare, elusive male Karen, whomst we will call Darren, ask the impossible of an employee and refuse to pay unless they do exactly what he asks. It's a cool Thursday afternoon. I just got off work and I am super hungry. I'd actually skipped lunch that day because I had a ton of work to do. So I stopped by a Quidoba on my way home. I know it's pronounced Quidoba, but when I first met my wife Audrey, she pronounced it Quidoba.
No, I didn't.
You totally did, your whole family. And I thought it was the funniest thing, so I started saying it that way too. But anyway, I walk into the place and there's a really long line. But it's cool, I'm not in any rush, I'm just digesting myself. So I get in line and start deciding what to eat. But since I'm super hungry, I almost want to order multiple things, which I don't do often, okay? I just have a really fast metabolism. So I'm skinny as frick, but always hungry. So I'm thinking about getting a bowl and a chicken quesadilla. But the last time I ordered a chicken quesadilla at a different Quidoba, the guy working there said, "Sir, you can't just order a chicken quesadilla. You can only place an order for those online." And I was like, "What? You can only order quesadillas online. You can't do it here." Again, I inquired, "What?" And he said, "Quesadillas are an online menu item only, so you'd have to place your order there." To which I responded, "So let me get this straight. I can't order a quesadilla here." "Yep. But if I walked right over there and ordered a chicken quesadilla online, you'd still make it right here." "Correct." So I got out of the line, I walked about 8 steps away and ordered a chicken quesadilla on the website. And the guy working there got the ticket, looked at it like he had never seen the word quesadilla before, made it in about 2 seconds, put the bag on the counter and yelled, "Order for boards!" "This for you?" "Yes, that's for me." Anyway, all that to say is if I go up there and order a bowl and a chicken quesadilla, I might end up having to do the same dumb online order thing, but honestly, Quidoba's quesadillas are freaking worth it. So the line's moving decently fast. I'm prepared to do what I must until this family with like 7 kids goes up to order. And of course, nobody has any idea what they want. Come on, guys. You guys had this whole time in line to think about it. Sorry, I almost lost my cool there. I apologize. I'm just really hungry because I've been working all day and I didn't have lunch. Eventually, all 6 or 7 kids end up getting chicky nuggies or something because that's what you do when you're 5. And the line starts moving decently fast again. And at this point, I've decided I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna order a bowl and a chicken quesadilla. Not because I'm horizontally challenged, but because I have a fast metabolism and I skipped lunch today. I'm eagerly awaiting my turn in line to get that sweet, succulent Mexican meal when the most absolute dad gets up to the front of the counter. And I don't use that term lightly when it comes to this stocky, absolute unit of a boomer father. I'm talking a red golf polo that's way too tight for him. I'm talking the light brown cargo shorts with a black belt, and that polo is tucked so tight his shorts had to sign an NDA. I'm talking the white New Balance with high socks all bunched up halfway up the shin. I'm talking the phone holster on the belt with an earpiece. I am not making this up. This man looks like he wrote the handbook about how to dress like a dad. And let me tell you, he's got the stance to prove it. I see this guy and genuinely think for the moment that this man is wearing a costume as a joke because of how unbelievably boomer he's dressed until he opens his mouth. "Hi, sir, what can I get for you?" "Yeah, I'll have chicken and steak burrito." "Of course, sir, but double meat costs extra if you're okay with it." "It'll cost me more, I know." "All right, and what kind of rice?" "Sorry, could you add a little more steak? You didn't fill the circle." Of course, sir, and what kind of rice?" A little more. Come on, don't hold out on me." This guy's demeanor, which is very rude by the way, makes it seem like he orders this exact same thing a lot. So he's got this order down to a T. All right, and what kind of rice would you like in that? I'll have both." "All right, that'll also cost extra." "I know, you go right ahead." Like, we should all be impressed with this guy's Quidoba order. Alrighty, and you're holding out on me. Come on, put some more on there. Yep, all right, that's good. All right, and beans?
What do you think?
Would you like both?
Yeah, I'd like both beans. I know, it'll cost me extra. Just put it on.
Dude, okay, technically he's not doing anything wrong. It's just the way he's treating the employee making him food is so rude and entitled.
What, you call that a serving of beans? I'm gonna need another spoonful of that, sir.
It was kind of funny at first, but at this point, everyone in line is just watching this happen in silence. All conversations in the Quidoba have stopped, and all of the attention is centered on this one singular burrito that's getting larger and larger by the minute. And this poor employee is still gonna need to wrap it.
Yeah, a little more guac, please.
Let me guess, would you like double lettuce with that?
Ha! What? Do I look like a giraffe? I think I'll keep away from the food that my food eats, all right?
Loud and clear? All right, sir. This guy's finally finished adding toppings, and the employee just stops and looks down at this absolute mountain of a burrito. There was so much stuff on there, you couldn't even see the tortilla. And Darren is just standing there with this smug look on his face. All eyes are on this employee, and he starts in on trying to fold this burrito. And it's remarkable. The craftsmanship, the skill, the technique as this employee is molding and folding this thing, doing his absolute best to wrap it up. He's trying to fold this thing for like 2.5 minutes. The whole line is watching him in awe. He knows this is holding everyone up, so he locks in. He's putting his entire body weight into this thing, trying to squish it down just so he can fit the tortilla around it. Until finally, he pauses and says, "I'm sorry, sir, but I'm just gonna have to double wrap it and charge you for an extra tortilla." Right then, the smug look on Darren's face fades, and he goes,
Yeah, no thank you. You can just wrap it up nicely in that one.
"Sir, I don't think it's possible. You got double of almost everything, and I don't think I can physically fit it all into this one tortilla."
Well, I'm not paying for an extra tortilla. You guys are already charging me a lot for this food.
Because you ordered a lot of food.
Well, I'm not paying for an extra tortilla. You're just gonna have to wrap it in that one.
I don't think anybody in line can believe this guy. He just ordered double of everything they have in that spread, knowing that it costs extra for all of it. But now that he's at the very end, and this poor employee can't physically fit it all into this one tortilla, this guy refuses to buy another one. Like, dude, why? It seems like his whole goal in coming here is just to make these workers' lives harder. More and more people keep coming in. This man is holding up the line so unbelievably hard by demanding the employee only use one tortilla. And right then, one of the other employees who's watching goes through a door in the back. Then the employee comes out of the back room with the manager. The manager goes up to the guy folding the burrito, takes one look at the man who's ordering, sees how much he's backing up the line, and just goes, "I'll get a second tortilla." And the guy goes, "No, I'm not paying for that." "Don't worry, sir, we won't charge you extra." And Darren's smile immediately returns, and he actually looks proud of himself. He literally turns around to the rest of the restaurant and goes, "Now that's how I know I'm getting my money's worth, am I right?" Everyone just stared at him in disbelief. Now the employee and the manager both are trying to fold this burrito together using 2 tortillas. And Darren has the utmost audacity to go, "Hey, come on, careful. Some of it's spilling out." "Don't worry, sir. We're doing our best." Dude, what is wrong with you? You can tell the manager is getting more and more fed up as this guy just stares at them, making sure they don't spill anything while trying to wrap up his precious 3-course burrito. Until finally, the manager snaps. He says nothing and just grabs a 3rd tortilla to wrap this thing up. Hey, I'm not paying for that." "I know, sir. Don't worry. We're just getting this thing wrapped up for you." And Darren just gets even happier, like he's getting the best deal of a lifetime on a burrito. After several minutes, the guys behind the counter somehow finally manage to wrap up this burrito. And then they have to wrap it up again in like 5 sheets of tinfoil before they give it to this guy. He pays at the counter and goes, "Thanks for giving me my money's worth." And he walks out of the place. Everyone watches him walk out, and we just all stand there in silence for a second. The line doesn't even move because we're all just frozen in disbelief. I eventually get to the front of the line, and I go up to the counter, and the employee just sighs and goes, "Hi, what can I get you?" And I go, "I'll have a burrito with double everything, please." I'm just kidding. Can I order a chicken quesadilla, or is that something I can only do online? Of course you can order that here. What do you mean, can you only order it online? That's what I'm saying! Like, if you ordered it online, we'd just have to make it right here anyway, so why wouldn't you be able to order it here? Thank you. So I got my bowl and that sweet, succulent chicken quesadilla meal, and when I went up to the counter to pay, I overheard the employees talking to the manager. Man, thank you so much for dealing with that. I mean, that was unbelievable. All that and he didn't even tip? And that was all I needed to hear. I immediately selected the 30% tip option on the keypad, which isn't gonna change anybody's life or anything, but it's the least I could do after witnessing such an insane ordeal. And I've been blessed, so I should bless other people. I devoured that succulent Mexican meal so fast. Which again, I don't do that often, I swear, but I couldn't stop thinking about how rude that guy was. How entitled he was talking to that employee, paying double for everything, but when it comes to the one thing that would make the employee's life easier, he suddenly ran out of funds. And even after the guy folded his burrito for like 15 minutes and gave him 2 extra tortillas for free, he didn't tip a single cent. Do not be like that guy. This guy was almost as entitled as the 3 women I saw at In-N-Out who had zero regard for anyone around them, thinking they're the center of the universe. So just a little bit ago, I was celebrating 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is all thanks to you guys, and I'm so grateful. But anyway, Audrey and I wanted to go somewhere fancy to celebrate. I told her I want to leave at around 5:30. So at about 6:45, I'm sitting on the couch, all dressed up and ready to go, when I hear some miscellaneous noises coming from upstairs. I know this seems unrelated, but it's actually important to the story, okay? So just bear with me. But anyway, after about 30 minutes of hearing these noises, Audrey finally comes around the corner with tears in her eyes, trying to fight through her emotions, and goes, "Notice anything different?" Did you cut your hair? I tried to cut my hair and I messed up and it looked so bad. I looked like Edna Bone had a baby with Lord Farquaad. It looks so awful. In reality, her hair looked awesome. She did an amazing job cutting it, but she didn't think so. What are you talking about? It looks awesome. No, it doesn't. I don't want to go somewhere fancy looking like this. Okay, sure. Don't worry about it. How about this? Let's go to the fanciest place of all, the In-N-Out drive-thru. Okay. Little did we know, without that small change in decision, this video wouldn't exist. So we got in the car and we start on our way to In-N-Out. We're dressed up all fancy. We looking good. At least I think so, and we finally pull up to our local In-N-Out. And of course, the drive-thru line looks extensive, but Audrey didn't want to go inside, so drive-thru it is. We're sitting in line, talking, hanging out. I'm trying to convince Audrey her hair actually does look good, but she refuses to believe me. When I look up and realize the line hasn't moved for a while. It's like 7:30 at this point. I'm getting hungry. And at the moment, we're in the extended line that comes out of the actual drive-through funnel lane. So technically, we can still get out of this line, park somewhere, and go inside. So I'm like, hey, it looks like the drive-through line is gonna take a while, so what do you say I drive us out of here and into a parking spot so we can go inside and get our food sooner? And she just looks at me and goes, I'm sorry. Do you see my hair right now? Literally, yes, it looks amazing. We should just go inside. Plus, it's In-N-Out. Nobody's gonna care. Nobody's gonna care about what, huh? The fact that my hair is terrible? I knew you secretly hated it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying I think it looks beautiful, but I clearly can't change your mind about that. So I'm saying even if it did look bad, which it doesn't, let me be clear on that. If it did, nobody would care because it's In-N-Out. That's all I'm saying. You hate it. No! And before we knew it, we were in the actual drive-through lane, past the point of no return. The drive-through lane is taking forever, and I look longingly towards the front doors when we hear something. We look at each other, and for a second, I think something's seriously wrong until we hear some unique bellowing laughs. And at the moment, our view is completely obstructed by parked cars. So we had no idea what's going on. The drive-through lane starts moving again. We're inching up further and further, and the laughing and screaming is getting louder and louder. We finally reach a clearing, and it's 3 fully grown, rental car driving age adult women filming a TikTok video directly in front of the front doors of the In-N-Out. But they're not just filming any TikTok video, oh no. That wouldn't be obnoxious or disruptive. I wouldn't be making a video about this if it wasn't obnoxious and disruptive. These adults are doing a certain TikTok challenge, which I'm gonna try to explain for those of you who don't know what it is, called the rock, paper, scissors food challenge. This challenge is where 2 or more people have food in front of them. They play rock, paper, scissors. Whoever loses has to run and touch something really far away, while the winner eats as much of the food as they possibly can before the other person can get back. And they do this over and over until the food is completely gone. What's the point of this, you ask? No idea. How can you decide who wins? Don't know. Aren't you essentially wasting food by scarfing it down super fast and not even tasting it? Absolutely. Does this benefit society in any way? Not even a little bit. So these women are out here, I'll say it again, parked right in front of the front doors of the In-N-Out, with their phone set up on a tripod, as well as all of their greasy In-N-Out food just spread out on the back of their trunk. They play rock, paper, scissors, and one of them starts ripping apart a burger, while the other 2 women run across the busy parking lot, slap their greasy hands on what I can only hope is one of their own cars, and they run back to play another round. Dude, again, it's like 7:30 p.m. on a Friday. It's prime time rush hour for people trying to get In-N-Out. And these women are just taking up the entire parking lot filming this stupid TikTok. Cars are having to slam on their brakes in the parking lot because they don't want to accidentally hit one of these women as they sprint, albeit not very fast, across the parking lot to slap their greasy acrylic fingers on someone's car. Again, I hope it's their car. We're stuck in this drive-through line for like 20 minutes, and these women are just filming the same TikTok video that whole time. I watched a few cars pull up, see what was going on, and decide to either leave entirely or pull into the drive-through instead of a parking spot. Now it all makes sense why the drive-through lane is so packed. These 3 women were literally deterring people from parking and going inside. Dude, I'm getting secondhand embarrassment just thinking about it. Like, how inconsiderate can you be? I just want to take a second and say, I'm glad they're having fun. I really am. If you're gonna play a game or film a TikTok for 30 minutes straight, knock yourself out. Have a great time. I don't care. Just like, I don't know. Don't do it right in the middle of one of the busiest fast food places in America during rush hour? Seriously, go home and do this there or something. At the very least, go to the corner of the parking lot. I don't know, just have some peripheral vision. There are other people on Earth, you know. They are so caught up filming this TikTok, like they are the most important human beings in the world, and everyone around them should just be grateful to be graced with their presence. And we finally get to the drive-through window. Hi, welcome to In-N-Out. What can I get started for you? Anyway, I ordered a 3x3, which is a triple cheeseburger. You can get it in that, by the way. I don't know if you knew that, but now you do. Audrey got a double, and we pulled around and parked in the corner of the parking lot to eat our burgers, like decent human beings who don't want to get in other people's way. And by the time we ended up parking, those women had left, but not before leaving their mark in that parking spot. Nice. Slowly but surely, the drive-through to parking lot ratio evened out, and the flow of traffic eventually went back to normal. But it was no thanks to that group of women. I hope the 30-minute TikTok video they filmed was first of all trimmed properly for retention, and second of all, worth it after inconveniencing dozens of hungry people. I am sure the In-N-Out employees were very happy to see those women leave. Much like how I was very happy to see this mom Karen leave after the stinkiest, most atrocious 2.5-hour car ride of my life. Because 2 years ago, I was helping out with this cool production thing. It's like a fun stage show with lights and pyro and really cool talented actors and such. And I know the owners super well, so I help out with their show whenever they're in town. So this show starts touring in about 3 weeks. So all the actors and everyone were coming together to rehearse at this big warehouse. I'm moving some boxes around, helping out. It's almost 9 p.m. People are wrapping up for the day when one of the owners walks up and goes, "Hey Boards, I got a quick question for you." "Yeah, what's up?" So one of our tween actors flies into town tonight with his mom. They're flying into Denver, which is about 2 hours away from us. We are super busy at the moment. Would you actually mind going up there and picking him up? And I was like, of course. And she was like, great, I'll pay you like an Uber driver wage or something for help me out. And I was like, no, you don't have to. Yes, I do, and I will. No, stop it, I really should. Boards, you're taking this money. And I was like, okay, fine. So we get in the car. By the way, my wife Audrey is there helping out with the show too. So we decided to drive there together. And we're just talking, having a good time. 2 full hours pass, and we finally make it to the airport. I pull into the arrivals place, and we start waiting for these people. And we wait, and we wait, and we wait, and we keep waiting, and finally, we kept waiting, and all of a sudden I got a text. It read, "Thank you for picking us up. We just got all our luggage, and we're on our way outside." And I was like, great, I'm parked right outside door number 3. So I looked over at the door, and we waited. And we waited. And we waited. And the whole time, I'm looking over at this traffic guy, whose job is obviously to keep the cars moving in the airport. Active unloading only. If you are not actively picking up or dropping off a passenger, please pull away. Thank you. Bzz, bzz. I got another text. This one said, "We are outside. Where are you?" "Door number 3. "I don't see door 3. "Well, that's where I am, at arrivals." "I don't see it, Oh, we're at departures." And I'm like, it's okay, it's fine. It's already almost midnight. We drove 2 hours here. We've waited almost an hour since your plane landed for, I guess, you to get all of your luggage and then mosey on outside to the wrong place. But it's okay. I know delays happen at this point. I'm just trying to get home. "I see you guys." Oh, nice. I look over and there's the lady with, one of those bellhop dolly things that you put, like, a ton of luggage on. Like, these things are to move multiple groups of people's luggage in one go. And she's wheeling this bad boy out to my car. So I get out and I'm like, "Hi there, I'm Boards. Hey, thanks for the ride. Here, help me load this up." Okay. I was gonna do that anyway, but, now I don't wanna. We're loading all this stuff up, and I can't really see because it's dark, but it is a lot of luggage for just 2 people. And speaking of which, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. Where's your son, the child actor? "Oh, he's inside. I'm gonna go get him." So I finish stuffing all of this stuff in my trunk, and I shut the door. And this lady comes back out with her son, and he's in an airport wheelchair. And I'm like, oh, I knew the stage show is pretty physically taxing, so I didn't expect that. "Hey, what's up, man? I'm Boards." Great talk. I'm gonna go, and I look over to see this woman go back inside and bring out another bellhop thing with even more luggage. And she's like, "Why'd you close the trunk?" Sorry, I thought that was it. Stupid. Stupid thing to think. Oh, no, see, this is it. You see, I thought they had had too much luggage before, and then she brought out the same amount, if not more stuff. And I make a joke like, I don't know if some of the stuff is gonna fit in here, haha. And the lady's just like, well, it better. And I'm like, okay.
What? Is this a snowboard?
Yeah, it's for him, just in case we have some free time while we're in the mountains of Colorado. Right, yeah, of course. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if you'll have time for... Wait a second. Oh, he's not actually handicapped. I just do this so my little prince doesn't have to walk anywhere. My boy only gets the king treatment. So, we finish loading up. We get in the car, and we finally start driving to first their hotel, and then home sweet home. And my wife is like, hi there, I'm Audrey. I haven't gotten your names. And the lady's just like, oh, where are my manners? You can just call me Mama. And this is your Lordship Supreme Chancellor Crunchwrap Burrito King of them all. Okay, obviously these weren't actually their names, but I'm not even kidding you. These were pretty close to what their actual names were. It was so shocking, I was almost like, ha, no really. But thank goodness I didn't, because I kept waiting for her to be like, no, I'm just kidding, I just say that because he's my little king. But, she never did. So I'm like, ah, that's a lot of stuff you guys brought back there, what's all that about? And Mama was like, oh yeah, we need all this stuff when we travel. We've got our clothes, obviously, my jewelry, Supreme Chancellor's jewelry. He's got 4 pairs of shoes, I have 5 in case we go somewhere fancy, because, you know, he's a male model. Obviously a snowboard, in case we have time to go snowboarding, and a steamer so nothing gets too wrinkly, and you know, a few other essentials like an air fryer. Oh, yeah, no, cool. You can't go anywhere without an air fryer. Let me put it in perspective real quick. This show is a grueling 2 months of back-to-back traveling to different states, setting up everything needed to run the show at the venues such as risers, lights, pyro, etc. And it's a very lean group. So if you're on tour, you're not just a performer, you're also a stage manager, setup person, costumes, props, like you do it all. And there's almost zero free time between setting up, rehearsals, shows, teardown, and immediately traveling to the next city to do it all again. But I didn't have the heart to tell the Supreme Chancellor he may not have time for snowboarding. Or, air frying, I guess. You know, I'm not gonna lie to you, this all might be a little too much stuff to bring when you're on crew for a production like... Oh dear, I almost forgot. Come on out, Kenneth. Come here, baby. Kenneth, come here. Don't you be acting like that. You come here right now. I'm sorry, who's Kenneth? Oh, he's our cat. I hope you don't mind. He's been cooped up in the baggage compartment of the plane, haven't you, schmuckums? Oh.
Meow.
He also likes to free roam in the car. I hope that's not a problem. Oh, haha, no, it's not a problem at all. I mean, it's dark. It's 1:30 a.m. in the busy city of Colorado Springs and Denver. I can't see out the back windshield. What could having a free-roaming animal possibly add to this hazardous situation? And within 2 seconds, Kenneth jumps into the front seat of the car and starts walking all over me and Audrey. And his claws are sharp as heck. Oh my gosh. And I am way too scared to try to touch or move him at all to the back seat. And without warning, he jumps onto my dashboard and just stares at me. And I'm like, okay, Kenneth, you should probably... Whoa! Okay. And this cat just stares me down so intensely. And it's not a cute cat either. It's like your average ancient Egyptian cats with that one type of face that's not cute or cuddly at all, in my opinion. He got the floppy skin folds all up and down his body, really sharp claws, and he is lanky. He is a long boy. And finally I'm like, hey, how do I get him to move? And the lady's like, oh, sorry, he does that. He just loves the dashboard, don't you, Kenneth? Oh, I tell you what. Kenneth! Come here, boy, get some snacks! And Kenneth uses my no-no square as a launch pad with his claws the frick out, and he launches himself to the back seat. After that awkward fiasco, a while passes of complete silence. And I'm like, so, Supreme Chancellor, what's it like being a child actor? That's probably pretty cool, huh? Nice. Very cool. Oh yeah, our last job was in Legoland. We got the call from Legoland to do a commercial for Legoland. And we were supposed to be allowed to stay at the Legoland Hotel, you know, the one inside of Legoland. But instead of being inside of Legoland, they had us staying in a hotel right outside Legoland, instead of inside Legoland. This woman, holy crap, she must have said the word Legoland probably 1,000 times in the span of this 20-minute story. And dude, it's like she knew. The way that she said it every single time was like, Legoland, Legoland, Legoland. Every single time. Legoland, Legoland, Legoland. I am not kidding you. She told us a 30-minute story about Legoland and how their agent booked them to stay at the wrong hotel right outside of Legoland instead of inside the Legoland Resort. And so finally, we got to stay in the Legoland Resort. Wow, what a story. I'm definitely gonna remember that. And then, without warning, Kenneth bolted into the front seat and used my crown jewels as an Olympic-style trampoline just to land right back down to his bowl in the back seat. And it was right then that I couldn't even collect myself because I started smelling this odor. This awful, terrible, horrendous smell. And I'm like, oh no. Did Kenneth drop a gift basket into my back seat? You know, it's not the nicest car or anything, but it's my car. And I want to take a little care of it. Whew! Oh, sorry. I had a Wendy's milkshake from Wendy's earlier this morning, and we went and stopped for Frosties when we landed. And I am super lactose intolerant, so I'm so sorry about that. Whew! Let me roll down some windows.
That's exactly how it happened.
I know. So she rolls down the windows, and I'm thinking, first of all, why? And second of all, you stopped for Frosties when you landed? Who does that when you have somebody waiting on you to pick you up? It is all making sense now. Why they were almost an hour late getting out of the airport when their plane landed on time. Because first off, they had to wait like 7 moons to get all of their luggage. They had to find a bellhop thing to carry said luggage. She then had to find a wheelchair for her son who can walk but chooses not to. And then this woman, who, must I say it again, is lactose intolerant after having a milkshake earlier that day, decided to get Frosties, to which the main ingredient is dairy, before getting into a stranger's car for a 2-hour drive at 1 in the morning. Am I missing anything? Oh yeah, they brought a cat. So I'm trying to, oh yeah, and an air fryer. Sorry. I'm trying to, drive. It's almost 2 in the morning. And this woman is just, I don't know how to say this politely, farting her liver out into my back seat. Freaking Kenneth is running rampant all over the car. I cannot physically breathe. And the Supreme Chancellor has not said a single word the entire drive. But all of a sudden,
We get to the hotel.
I get out, open the trunk, and the lady practically sprint walks inside. And she's gonna need a minute in there. So it's just me, Audrey, and the Supreme Chancellor. And I'm like, so, Supreme Chancellor, you excited to be in the production? So it's almost 3 a.m. This woman is probably in there fighting demons. 20 minutes go by, and she finally emerges with 2 bellhop things and a hotel wheelchair. Sorry, I was about to explode, so I had to use the lobby restroom. Oh, we know. We got everything packed up in record time, said our goodbyes, we got back in the car, and drove off. And Audrey and I just look at each other. What just happened? I don't know. That was the weirdest car ride of my life. I literally have holes in my shirt from freaking Kenneth. We finally got to our apartment that night and crashed. And the next morning, I was helping out with the show again, so I went up to the owner and I was like, "Hey, you get a chance yet to talk to Supreme Chancellor and Mama?" And the owner was like, "Haha, yeah, they seemed way different over Zoom calls." We had never met them in person until earlier this morning, and after a very colorful conversation, we mutually decided that this wouldn't work out. And frankly, they were happy to be promoted to customer. Okay, so technically, Mama and Chancellor didn't do anything wrong at all. I think they were just more so expecting a limo to pick them up and bring them to their trailer on a movie set to get the rock star treatment like they did in Legoland. Which, there's nothing wrong with that. They just should have, read the brief, I think, on what this smaller production would actually be like. And the owner even told me that she explained to them what the expectations should be. I don't think that they were listening. Some advice for you is to read the room and maybe have some more social awareness than this old lady Karen who held up an entire Little Caesars for over an hour while being absolutely oblivious. Why a Little Caesars, you might ask? Well, anytime Audrey and I wanted to go out and get some pizza, we choose Little Caesars for 3 reasons. It's hot, it's ready, and it's the closest pizza place to our house, so it wins by default. And normally, it's been great. We've gone there several times and haven't had any issues. Well, except for this one time. It's a random Wednesday afternoon, and normally Audrey and I try to limit our eating out to once a week at most, because fast food is horrendous for your body and it's actually really expensive. So I'm sitting on the couch minding my own business when all of a sudden... Has anyone told you how good you look today? Did you do something different with your hair or something? It looks awesome. Yes, we can go get pizza. Oh, what? You think I just came over here to, Alright, you got me. Woo! So I whip out the Little Caesars app. We don't go that often, okay? It's just the app is really convenient to have because it shows you what deals are going on. And speaking of which, they have a pizza, crazy bread, and wings combo for like 20% off or something. Which, if you didn't know Little Caesars had wings, now you do. And join the club, because we didn't either. And it sparked my curiosity. Wings from a pizza place? These could either be really good or really bad. So naturally, we wanted to try them. So I placed the order, and we are super excited to try these bad boys for the first time. And another convenience of having the app is it tells you when you placed your order, when your pizza's in the oven, and when it's hot and ready. And since Little Caesars prides themselves on making pizzas so fast, I place the order and we start the 10-minute drive down the road in order to pick it up. We do this in hopes that it's ready when we get there so we can just pick it up, drive home, and watch a movie or something. And normally, the timing on that works perfectly, because it takes them a little over 10 minutes to make the pizza, and that's about how long the drive is. Again, okay, it sounds like we do this all the time, but we don't. We're very productive people who figure out the most efficient ways to do everything, all right? That's just who we are. But anyway, so we pull up, it's around 5:45, and I check the app to make sure that we're on schedule. Huh. It's still in the oven. Okay, well normally it says it's all boxed up and ready to go at this point, but they're probably just running behind. After all, it is a very busy, random Wednesday evening, but it should be ready soon, because every time we've done this, based on independent research studies from Harvard, it shows Little Caesars normally makes their pizza hot and ready in about the time it takes your average 2-person family to drive 10 minutes down the road from where they live. So I think to myself, it's probably gonna be ready in like a minute or two. We should just wait inside. So we walk in and we're met with the sweet aroma of greasy, artery-clogging American-style pizza. And Little Caesars has this thing that they call a pizza portal. They make your pizza, put it in the portal, your name pops up on the screen, you type in the code on your receipt, the portal opens, and you get your pizza. Happy times all around. So I look at the screen to see if our name's up there, and nothing. So Audrey and I walk over and stand in the corner next to the little pinball machine they have full of bouncy balls. Look, if you've never been inside a Little Caesar before, you're probably so confused. And I don't blame you, okay? American fast food is such an interesting economy, and I'm not proud of it. But tonight, I gotta try the Little Caesars wings. But we're standing in the corner for about 5 minutes. I check my phone, and it's still in the oven. Okay, it's probably a technical glitch or something, because I'm sure they're boxing it up or something. Surely it can't still be in the oven. Sure enough, we see one of the employees boxing up a pizza, grabbing some crazy bread, and some wings, and she walks over and puts the pizza in the portal. I start walking over because it's unmistakably our order. I look up at the screen expecting to see my name, and... Janice? Alright, well, this is awkward, but I can't admit defeat and turn back now, so I pretended I was just walking over to look at this random stain on the wall, and then I walked back over to stand next to Audrey. But this begs the question, who is Janice? And why is she ordering the exact same thing as us? When all of a sudden... Well, I hope you're happy, Janice. Hi, what's the name for the order you guys are waiting on? Hi, it's for boards? Oh, right, the mushroom and pineapple pizza with crazy bread and garlic wings, right? We should have that out for you guys in just a minute. Yep, that's us, and thank you, no rush. No problem. Okay, before you absolutely roast me and my wife alive rotisserie style in the comments, first of all, pineapple on American style Little Caesars pizza paired with mushrooms is amazing. I'm probably gonna catch some flack for my opinion on this, but don't knock it until you try it. And second of all, just let me live my life, all right? That's all I ask. Anyway, we sigh in relief because I was worried we had been forgotten. Because it's literally 6:30 at this point. I put in the order around an hour ago. And usually this place only takes around 10 or 15 minutes to make a pizza. According to the studies at Harvard, that is. But I guess making the wings takes extra long or something? I don't know. I look at my app and it says the pizza is still in the oven, which I know isn't true because if it was, the building would be on fire and we'd be using our beloved pineapple and mushroom pizza as a frisbee. Anyway, so we're waiting. It's been over an hour and the doors open. And in come two very loud skater dudes carrying their skateboards. And they are just yapping up a storm about the most random stuff. Yeah, dude, he went full Superman off the half pipe, board flew like straight into some kid's nuggets. No, bro, not his nuggets. Yeah, bro, his nuggets. Then what happened? He stood up and said, "Worth it," and took a sip of his lukewarm monster. Lukewarm monsters are so gnarly. It's like a borderline spiritual experience, dude. Anyway, you think they got churros here? It's a burger place, brah. Oh. Anyway, these guys eventually end up ordering once they came back down to earth, and I turned to Audrey like, if these guys get their pizza before we do, respectfully, I'm going to riot. Oh yes, let's. So we're waiting. It's almost 7 p.m. at this point. We've waited over an hour and a half so far on this pizza, bread, and wings combo, and I am getting restless. These garlic-smothered Little Caesars wings we're waiting on better be the greatest things I've ever eaten if they take this long to make. A few more minutes go by, and wouldn't you know it? Pizza, bread, wings? That has to be us, right? I'm sorry, Zeth? Not Seth, Zeth? Okay, that's gotta be one of the skater guys. I can't believe they got their pizza before us. Ooh, is that us? Nah, some guy named Zeth. That's such a cool name. Zeth. Dude, you gotta be kidding. Zeth isn't the name of one of the skater guys? I feel like I'm in a dream right now, waiting in here for over an hour and a half. You got all these crazy characters, and everyone keeps getting their pizza before us. And I swear, if Zeth V is gonna eat this combo before we do at this point, I'm gonna commit a crime. And now I'm wondering what the V in Zeth V stands for. Vavid? Is it Vavid? Is this guy's full name Zeth Vavid? I don't know, but at this point, I just want to know what he looks like. But we might not get to, because I look over and see the employee boxing up our pizza, bread, and wings combo. We might not get to see what Zeth looks like, but that is okay. I'm so ready to eat. Here you guys are. Thanks a lot, dude. No problem. Righteous. That's like the third time she's seemingly boxed up our order and given it to someone else. The app says our pizza is still in the oven. Bro, I don't know what is going on back there. And you all know I'm not one to complain, but I'm about ready to speak with the manager and ask what's going on. I'm just about to walk up and politely ask what the ETA is on our za when... Could it be Zeth? The old lady from like half an hour ago shuffles back in the door holding a pizza and goes up to the counter.
Excuse me, this is not what I ordered.
Oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am. Let me have a look at that. And she opens the box to see our pineapple and mushroom pizza that we ordered almost 2 hours ago. So many people have come and went, gotten their food, and gone home, but we have remained. You can tell the girl working there instantly knew the mistake she made. This means our pizza has been ready for over half an hour now. She just mistakenly gave it to the wrong person. She quickly hands the correct pizza to the old woman who speeds out the door. The employee just looks down at our pineapple and mushroom pizza, and she locks eyes with me and Audrey. We all just stand there for a few moments looking at each other in silence. And even though no words were spoken, we had an entire conversation. Maybe they won't notice if I just turn around, get their wings and bread, and give them this pizza that I mistakenly gave to that woman over half an hour ago. Ma'am, if you even think about turning around, getting our wings and bread, and giving us that pizza that you mistakenly gave to that woman over half an hour ago, I'm going to burn this place to the ground and not leave a tip. Yeah, you're looking at me like if I give you this pizza, you're gonna burn this place to the ground and not leave a tip. That's exactly right. Okay, I'm just gonna toss this pizza and make you guys a new one. How does that sound? Sounds great. Don't forget the crazy bread. I won't forget the crazy bread. Or the wings. Or the wings. Good. Good. So she walks back into the kitchen and starts on a new pineapple and mushroom pizza for us, for which we are very thankful, because we don't want a cold pizza that has exited and re-entered the building with a stranger with over a half an hour of time in between. And I'm not gonna lie, if we hadn't have had that silent conversation just now, I'm not too sure the employee would have made us a new pizza. But at this point, we are waiting anxiously. I'm just about digesting my stomach when all of a sudden, oh my gosh, it's Zeth. It's gotta be. I had completely forgotten. Nobody else has come in and ordered. It's gotta be him. We're gonna see what he looks like after all. They walk in and it's a random lady. Dagnabbit, dude. At this point, we've waited so long. As excited as I am to try those sweet, buttery garlic wings, I kinda also really wanna know what Zeth looks like. But before I can finish my thought, this woman walks over to the kiosk and... Dude! It's Zeth! In the flesh! I don't believe it! I was expecting some dude for some reason, not her! I can't believe this! Then she proceeded to put the pizza in a DoorDash bag.
You need to leave.
Gosh darn it! Now I'm never gonna know what Zeth Vavid looks like. I mean, look, okay, it's not that important or anything. We've been waiting here for over 2 hours. I deserve some closure. Hey guys, so sorry for the wait. Please enjoy.
Thank you, Jesus! We went straight home to try these garlic smothered Little Caesars wings, and
There's like 4 in there. And they're super tiny. But
okay, these wings are heavenly. It was over in like 2 seconds, but that was one of the greatest 2-second stints of my life. Maybe because we waited for over 2 hours to get 4 wings, but my God.
would I order them again?
Probably not, because it was like $10 for 4 wings the size of GMO grapes, but at least now we know.
And if anyone knows Zeth V, please have him reach out to me immediately, because I want to talk to him and his parents, and I will never let that go until the day I die. Much like how that one couple will never let go of how that one officiant stood them up at their wedding and I had to take his place. Definitely check out that story if you haven't already. Hit the link in the description and check out my merch. I gotta go because my mark is running out, but subscribe if you enjoyed, and thank you everybody so much for watching.